What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Showtime Radio. I am your host, Showtime, also known as Jenna. And before anything, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, smash that notification button, and leave a comment of a topic that you want us to discuss. Make sure you tell a friend to pull up, pour up, and tune in to these hot topics, because you know your girl comes active, ready with them. Okay. Once again, I have a reoccurring host on my show. A coast. I have a reoccurring guest on my show. Entrepreneur, visionary, father, business owner, and boyfriend, Mr. Levins Damas Jr. himself. Would you like anything to say anything?
Don't forget the cuckoo alien guy.
Oh yeah,
the crazy
Mr.
alien guy.
Conspiracy himself.
Yeah, that's what she made me out to be. She's like, I'm a fool. I'm gonna set him up.
Everybody, this is just a conspiracy person.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all he is. That's all he is. Do you have anything you would like to say before we just dive right into it?
No, nothing to really say. You can continue that conversation that we were just talking about.
Yeah, so I got some Wendy's. We had some Wendy's. He actually got us the Wendy's. So thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And we were just talking about what exactly were we talking about?
Just people taking action.
Right. Yeah, just taking action.
My brother, he saw us setting up. So he saw us setting up and
he got me a large fry. Was this a medium? Large?
That's a large.
Yeah.
My brother saw us setting up, asked us what we talk about on the podcast. He's talking about how him and his friends, they mess around at school doing podcasts there. And I just told him, just start it. Like, he has everything he needs. He has access to this microphone. Just start it. Invite your friends over and start the podcast. Fuck it. Just take action. That's all we were saying.
Yep.
And, I think we left off on, we're talking about the age.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you said it was the person.
Yeah, it's definitely just a person, because there is no age to take an action. I feel like there'd be 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds already talking about, I want to start my business, and they be doing lemonade stands, or they be flipping bikes, buying bikes and shit. I forgot what book I was reading, but he was saying he would find bikes in the neighborhood, abandoned bikes, fix them up, get a new tire for it, whatever, and sell it to his neighborhood friends. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That's a great mind right there. And he was probably 11 years old when he was doing this.
I think you have to have confidence in what you're doing and the work ethic, which ties back into the person. But if you don't have that confidence, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna hustle, grind, work ethic. And, because this is what I want to do. I feel like if you don't have, or I shouldn't just say confidence, because you could have a confidence in yourself mm-hmm. and in what you do, but you may not have the passion to go the extra mile to get it done, to go the extra mile, to push it into people's faces, to go the extra mile to make it successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why it's important to make sure it's something that you love.
Yeah.
Or if it's not something you love, it's something that's going to get you to where you love.
Yeah.
Because you need motivation.
You do. And I don't care what, well, for some people it may be, but if you don't have love for something that you do, it's not going to be fulfilling, and you're not going to do your best in it, I feel like. And that's from a personal experience. Somebody else's opinion can be different, but if you're not in love with something, you're not gonna put your all into it. Yeah. Same with with a person. If you're not in love with a person, you're not gonna take it seriously. You're not gonna go the extra mile to show and express how much you love something. So if you don't love, your career or a hobby, whatever the case may be, it's never gonna blossom to anything. Just like how you were saying, you have to talk to the plants for them to grow, to speak life into them, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you don't do that with, something that could form into a career, a hobby, or whatever the case may be, it's gonna stay stagnant.
Mm-hmm. For real.
Yeah.
You gotta speak that into yourself, into your career. You gotta believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly belief. It's all belief. Like, the difference from someone, it took somebody, let's say two people are in the same business. Whatever the business is, it don't matter. Two people are in the same business. One person, it took 5 years to 5 to 10 years to get at the top. The other person, it took a year.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the person who took a year, they believed in themselves more.
Which made them take action.
Take action. Taking action is important. If you don't, a lot of people are stuck in the learning stage. They wanna, let me gather as much information as possible before I start. I can't start yet.
I am an example of that. With this alone, this podcast alone, I'm an example of that. I wanted everything to be picture perfect. And it's not always like that.
It's not always like that. So like, they're like, oh, let me learn. Let me do research. I can't start until I do research. I gotta know everything before I start. The truth is, you're not gonna know everything. Mm-hmm. The best way of learning is being in the field. Mm-hmm. You have to take action. You have to mess up to learn. Yeah,
there's no room for growth in your career or whatever you do if you already know everything. I feel like the point of life in general is you are continuing to grow within mm-hmm. yourself. Whatever it is that you involve yourself in. If you're a painter, you're continuing to learn different skills to master your painting. Like, until you die, you're continuing to grow. And I feel like, you know, and I understand the perspective. Like, you know, people want things done a certain way, especially perfectionists. You know, you want it to look a certain way, especially in this day and age. You know, you look at friendly competition or like, okay, so what looks the most professional right now? You know what I mean? So, mm-hmm. But when you get too caught up in it, and again, speaking from experience, when you get too caught up in things looking a certain way, you take the genuine out of it. You take the fun out of it, the love out of it. Yeah. You know, and that's when you become stagnant. That's when you become like, you know, that's when your confidence gets lowered mm-hmm. because it doesn't look like this person who's been in the game, who started where you were, who didn't look exactly how it wanted to look in the beginning, but 5 years, 10 years later, now you see them in this position, but it didn't start that way. Yeah. And that's what's hard for people to understand, myself included. I'm still gonna keep it real with you guys on the show. I'm still learning myself. There's a lot I'm still learning. Like I said, you're constantly growing and feeding your mind new information to evolve. But
some people never even start. Some people never start because they want to learn. They want to learn first. So, and some people, they get stuck in that. They just never start. Like, even like when it comes to doing a business, right? I heard people say stuff like, "Oh, I can't start yet because I don't have an LLC." Like, I'll never let something like that stop me. Mm-hmm. Like, you know me. You know me. Like, I've done started so many businesses without even getting an LLC. Because in my mind, the LLC will come later. Yep. I want to learn by taking action. Mm-hmm. Even right now, the business I'm doing now, I don't got no LLC, but I'm still talking to people every day, making connects. I'm still closing deals.
Yep, like, I was just about to say that. Closing deals.
LLC is not an excuse. And some people think too, when they get the LLC, like, oh, now I'm a business owner. Technically, you are a business owner because you have the LLC, but you ain't done shit yet. You feel me? So you ain't got nothing to celebrate yet.
I was gonna say, hold on. I don't want to be smacking my gums on.
I'd rather be. Remember what you're gonna say.
I'll try.
I'd rather be. I'd rather have a business that's making money with no LLC than have an LLC and my business is not making money.
Because where's the you're hyped up. You have this LLC. Well, where's the proof in the pudding? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like, oh crap, I forgot what I was gonna say.
My fault.
God damn you should have let me chew. I had a couple more bites to chew.
If I didn't say it, I would have forgot what I was gonna say, so I had to get it out.
It's okay. It'll probably circle back around. But you know what? You know what's funny is that this world. Hold on, let me take this sip. I've been grubbing over here. This bacon cheeseburger is hitting. It's hitting. Thank you, by the way. Mm-hmm. This world is so stuck in this is how you have to do things. This is what's going to make you successful. You have to look like this. You have to talk like that. You got to dress like this. And it's not true. It's not true. And lately I've been getting, trying to get in this mindset, especially with, you coaching me. Oh, I should add life coach into his bio, because no bullshit. He's really taught me a lot. He's probably one of a very, very few people that have taught me a lot of things, and he's one person that really changed my mind and perspective on thinking and manifesting and obtaining the life that I want. But that's besides the point. But you literally create what you want. And that's another thing too, with people not starting, or it's not being successful, or it's not getting to where they want to be, is because they're trying to fit in this box. Everything in this world is fit in a box, which is ironic, because the world is circle. If the world is circle. We'll get into that too. But everybody's trying to fit in this box of rules and format of how things are supposed to be. And I feel like the people that are successful are the people that step out of that box, that take that risk, that are genuinely themselves, that are different. Mm-hmm. And it's so important, like going back to just being like your authentic self, just being you. I feel like is what keeps somebody up here and other people down here. Why? Because that saying that there can never be another you is so true. There's a million podcasts out there, but I'm not them and they're not me, which means, my podcast might cater to other people. Their podcast might cater to other people. We might cater to the same people, but our stories and our success are different because we're not the same people. You know what I mean? I feel like when people get out of that world, that control, the world's control, is when, you start realizing, like, oh, I can have this way. I can manifest it this way. I don't have to do it that way.
For real. Yeah. Facts.
Like, it's not always black and white.
Yeah, it's not black and white. There's no by the book way.
Yeah.
There's not. It could happen anyway. And that's why people have to stop thinking that what they want is going to happen a certain way. Mm-hmm. So, like how I always tell you, right? I always say, you don't need to know how it's going to come to you. You just have to know what you want. Mm-hmm. So, all you have to know is what you want. You got to see the end. That's it. Let's say you want a new car. You don't have to know how you're going to get the car. You just got to know you want the car, and you got to know what type of car you want. Yeah. That's it. Let life do the rest. Let God, let the universe, however you want to call it, let that do the rest. Because there's an infinite amount of ways of how you can get that car. But if you think about constantly how you're gonna get it, you're gonna block off the other ways of how it could have came to you.
Limit yourself.
You're gonna limit yourself.
Yeah.
So all you gotta know is what you want. That's it. Visualize what you want. Ask for what you want. Just know what you want, and then let life handle the rest. Mm-hmm. It'll bring the people to you. It'll bring the job opportunities to you. It'll bring the clients to you. It'll bring the deals to you. You just gotta know what you want. That's it. Jim Rohn, one of my favorite speakers, Jim Rohn, the guy that'd be like, McDonald's. It's a speak. Jim Rohn. Some of you might know it's Jim Rohn.
We'll put. I always say we like this is our goddamn. I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the bio to his because he's good.
Jim Rohn is good. He's really good.
You can start or end or at some point in your day, just play that while you're washing dishes and making your bed in the morning or driving home from work, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Once a day, it'll inspire you. I need to listen to that more. I'm with you guys. We're on this journey together.
So what Jim Rohn said, he said, and it'll always stick with me. He said, when do you start building the house? And then the answer is when it's done, when it's finished. What does that mean? when it's finished in your mind.
It's so true.
Yeah.
How are you going to build a house you don't even know what it goddamn looks like?
Exactly. When do you start building the house? When it's finished.
Mm-hmm.
It's finished in your head first.
Right.
Before it could be finished in the physical world.
Right.
Everything you see in this room was once an idea in somebody's mind.
Right.
Before it became physical.
It's so true. It's so true.
So that goes for everything, not just houses, of course. It goes for anything. Your dream life, your dream career, dream vacation, anything. You gotta see it here first before.
That's another thing too. Seeing it. It's not just your imagination. It's not just, oh yeah, that's nice to think about. That's yours. God or the universe, however you want to put it. Put that in your brain to be like, yo, this is what I got for you. You like it? It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Know it's coming. Work towards it. Take action every day to obtain that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like some people get, you know, and it is a form of imagination. You know, it's fun to play around. It's fun to create. But it can very well be your reality. I feel like people get stuck with just, oh, I'm imagining this and da-da-da-da-da. But never take action or never believe in themselves or whatever the vision is enough for it to actually manifest into reality. Yeah. You know, it just stays in there. And I don't know about y'all, but I would hate to go and I have all these things in here and it never came to fruition. You know what I mean? Like they're not just what's it called? Put in your brain for no reason. They're put in your brain so you can obtain it. So you can, it's like a little appetizer to the main course. Like, this is what I got for you, okay? Do your end, and I'll do your part, and I'll meet you halfway so you can obtain it.
Exactly. That's a fact. All we gotta do is take action. That's it.
A little action. Take action a little bit a day.
Take a little action every day. That's it. We can't. All we could do is do what we can control, and that's our action. So if you, just an example, if you want to be the best rapper in the world, all right, you ask God for that. You know you want to be the best rapper. You see you on stage in front of thousands of people.
Right.
So what can you do as your part?
Yeah.
Start writing.
Yeah.
That's your part. Just take action. The rest will handle itself. The right people will find you. You feel me? Like, the right events will contact you. Like, it just works. Like, you know the story how I told you about how I performed at Middle East. Like, how
you wrote it out before?
I wrote it out and I said it to myself every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Like, I'm going to perform at Middle East. I'm going to perform at Middle East. And the way it happened, you can't make it up. Like, it's just like, the way it happened was crazy. I went to the Boss concert with Trenton, Jonathan. We were waiting in line, cold. Middle East, for people that you don't know, Middle East is a venue. It's
dope.
It's a dope venue.
It's dope.
So I'm not a rapper anymore. I'm more of I'm in the real estate now. I don't do rapping no more. But Middle East is a dope venue. Like, famous people perform at the Middle East when they go on tour. And I told myself, I said, I wrote it was on my closet door. I don't know if you remember, but in Rosemont, it was on my closet door. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm performing at Middle East nightclub. Like, I wake up every morning, I'll say it, and then before I go to sleep, I'll say it. So I go to the Boss concert, and then I didn't know how it was gonna happen. I just knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to perform at Middle East. I see people, we're all waiting in line. It's freezing, waiting in line. And this wasn't.
Say my burger for Alex. I know when I have munchies. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And this wasn't at Middle East. It was like Hard Night Rock Club or something like that.
Hard Night Rock.
Hard Rock nightclub, some shit like
Hard
that.
Nightclub.
In Boston. Freezing cold. Everybody's waiting in line. So you know what type of person I am. I'm like, all right. I see people. I like to help people. I like to, give. So I go to Dunkin' Donuts, which is right across the street. I get 4 hot chocolates for me, Trenton, Jonathan, and Trey. And then I order a dozen donuts. So I give the hot chocolates to Trenton, Jonathan, Trey, and then one for me. And then I go to the people I don't know in line, and I'm like, oh, y'all want a donut? Y'all want a donut? So I'm giving donuts to random people in the line. And then some kid's like, yo, what's your Instagram? Blah, 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 blah. We trade Instagrams, whatever. I didn't think nothing of it. Go to the Boss concert, have a good time, blah, blah, blah. A couple days later, I'm at work. I get a DM. He's like, yo, bro, appreciate the donut, whatever. We met at the Boss concert. He was like, hey, I'm an artist, but I don't think I'm ready to perform. I got offered to perform at the Middle East in Cambridge, but I'm not ready. Do you want to take my spot? I remember you saying that you were a rapper. Like what? I was like, yo, yeah, send me the info. He sent me all the info, and ever since then, I performed at Middle East like mad times.
Right.
You remember? Like, mad times. And I hate to use old examples.
No, that's experience.
Yeah,
experience are examples.
Yeah, so I just knew what I wanted, and then life did the rest of the work for me. That's it. I just believed that it'll come to me. I saw myself performing on stage in my mind, and it came to me.
How dope for the fact that, one, you weren't even thinking about it in the moment. Like, you probably thought about it that day when you looked at it or recited it, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or the moments that you said it to yourself. But the fact that you were being happy, the fact that you were being yourself, and the fact that you were being kind and generous attracted that to you.
Yeah.
Which is another thing I want to talk about is like what you put out is what you get. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I feel like that helped gravitate, you know, the things you wanted to, because, you know, you're showing love, you know, to God's people. You're showing love to yourself. You know, God's inside of you. You know what I mean? And like, you know, not only are you believing, you're holding, and you're writing and letting go, or you're talking about it or speaking about it, and then you're letting it go. You're also showing, you know, fruits of the spirit with like kindness, love, and compassion and stuff like that attracted that stuff to you, which is very important with the manifesting too. You know, I feel like people get caught up in I want this and I want this, and like I said, example of being like that. Now I'm in that transition of my mind. What's the word?
I should have
But my mind is in transition to not be so selfish. When people want, and there's certain moments when you're supposed to be selfish, but I feel like, especially this day and age, people want to be on so bad. They want money so bad. They want that clout so bad. They forget the morals. They forget the reason why they're here. It's not about money. Money is so, like we were talking about the other day, so you have... Money is so you can make memories and experiences.
It's an experience.
Yeah. It's not the root to your whole experience on here.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
It is.
Money is not the root of all evil.
No.
It's the love of money.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like that's what slows your manifestation down, or just the wrong reasons. Like, you know, the clout slows your manifestation down. Your status, visioning, like, oh, I want it. There's nothing wrong, don't get me wrong, with being like, oh, you know, I want to be successful in this. You know, I want people to come and stuff like that. But when you make it the sole heart root of why you do what you do, I feel like that's when it starts to slow your manifestation down. That's when God or the universe is like, hold up, you need some things. I gave you or bless you with this gift or this vision, not so you can do X, Y, and Z with it, not so you can just focus on the physical things, but so you can help people, lead people, be light in this way, to live out your truth, to have fun, to experience joy while you're here. So I feel like that tied into the reason why you were, not only because you gave it to God, one, because he gave you the vision, and because every day you taking action to speak about it, manifest it, write it down, whatever the case may be, but because you also had the right spirit, the right morals, the right intentions. Yeah, I feel like that's an important key, and it's not easy. It's definitely easier said than done. He is very, unless he just keeps it to himself. He is a very, 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 very nice, genuine human being. I'm a little more spicy than he is.
Thank you.
He is, no, genuinely. Not because he's my boyfriend, but that's partly a reason what attracted me to him is because his humanity is just so rare. You don't really see these days. I remember we were in Boston, and I forget if I was pregnant at the time, guys. I was always
no,
pregnant.
you weren't.
You know what I'm talking about?
J. Cole concert.
No. It wasn't J. Cole. We were in Boston. It was during the day, and we were walking. I think it was after a doctor's appointment. Yeah, I think I was pregnant at the time. We were walking to go eat somewhere, and you stopped for this homeless man, and you gave him money, and you shook his hand. And to you guys, you're probably like, so what? So the fuck what? He shook his hand. I shake people's hand every day. But it's the fact that people view homeless people as dirty, less than animals, just this big. And the fact that the humanity within you is so pure that you were like, he's still a human. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is so lacking these days.
And I hate when people like do things like that, but then they record it while they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. It's one thing. I was trying to like, try to find some, cause like, you know how we were talking about yesterday, when we were watching the podcast, like there's right and there's right, like two people, right? So I was trying to find like some justification to why somebody would record it. But us personally, we're on the same page with that. Like, if you're gonna help out homeless people, don't record it, because you don't know how they would feel. Right.
And it's like, what are you trying to prove? Like, you just want, oh, look at me, I'm doing something good. Like, you should always do something
the camera,
good.
You handing them a water bottle.
Like you holding it. You have the water bottle in your hand. You're like,
yes.
Here you go. All right, have a good one. Walk away with the camera, like, bro.
Yeah, like, what are you trying to get out of that? And not only that, what if their family didn't even know they were homeless?
Yeah.
Now they're on freaking watching your channel. And they're like, God damn, Jimmy Jones is homeless? Like, what the fuck? He didn't call me and let me know that. You know what I mean? Like, that I feel like some homeless people are already, like, a little humiliated. Which I wouldn't blame them. Like, damn, like, freaking, the world is... Oh, I'm sorry. Goddamn, the world is goddamn so goddamn messed up to the point where, like, we can't even... I mean, I know we have homeless shelters and stuff. But, like, why are there not more homeless shelters? You know what I mean? Why do we freaking... I know people have to get paid for, like, services, like, doctors and stuff like that. But why is it so much money to save lives? Why can I not get treated if I don't have X, Y, and Z? You get what I'm saying? Like, damn, son. I'm a human, you're a human. You cut us both, we bleed the same color. Like...
You remember that movie we watched? I got full.
You interrupt me just to mumble.
John Q.
With
Denzel Washington, his son needed surgery.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
And he didn't have the money because the doctors just wanted the money.
Yep. I remember that was a good movie.
He held everybody hostage because...
He's still chewing. Yeah.
I thought you would have took over for me.
Yo, I'm sorry. He's like, it's awkward. He held everybody hostage because he needed his son. His son was dying. And what was it? Was it his heart? Was it
heart disease or something like that?
And his son was dying. He only had a certain amount to live. He didn't have the money for it. So as a parent, I would kind of be with him. Like, you got to take matters into your own hands. Like, this is a life. It ain't about money. Money can't bring back a life.
Right. Like, the doctor's so worried about getting paid, the money was more important to the doctor than saving the kid's life. Like,
and it's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
crazy.
True. It is. Like, when I get to a certain point, and I know we talked about this before. I haven't really talked about it recently, but I do want to open more shelters and stuff like that. Do you remember ever having a conversation with me? Because I just feel like, why? And I always go back to, too. I'm sorry if I'm jumping around, but I always go back to, too, like, why the hell? None of us created this goddamn planet. None of us. So why the hell do I have to pay you? I don't even know you. I don't even meet the people of the bills that I pay for. Why the hell do I have to pay you for X, Y, and Z? And you didn't even create that shit, too. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't...
Yeah, some of the things people have to pay for are like crazy. It makes sense, but it's
makes sense because
it is a profession. Yeah,
but still,
it's not easy to cut somebody open. Like, you do deserve to be paid mad money for it.
If you cut somebody open and you're saving lives, I'm not coming at you. We appreciate you. Shoot, I got cut open for my kids. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But the amount or the fact that you can't be treated for certain reasons.
Yeah, like the fact that somebody could be dying and you'll literally turn them away because they don't have health insurance.
Yeah, that's where we're getting
it's
at.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Speaking of not creating this world, I want to jump into the flat Earth. I'm excited to talk about this.
I was actually gonna bring like something up in that topic too.
What were you gonna bring up?
Have you heard of Artemis 1 or Artemis 2?
I have not, but please enlighten me and the viewers.
NASA's about to launch a rocket to the moon.
Oh my gosh. So, goddamn NASA. And I'm gonna insert these clips in too. I remember you showing me a clip where they doing like an interview or something like that when they were like...
Yeah, so Apollo, whatever the first crew was to go to the moon. Mm-hmm. I don't know I think Apollo 11. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I think Apollo 11 with Neil Armstrong. You heard of Neil Armstrong before? Mm-hmm. First man on the moon. Mm-hmm. He when they got back, supposedly from the moon, when they got back, he was him and the crew. I think it was three of them. They do like a press. It's like they all sit down on the table and then the press is in front of them asking them questions or whatever. Yeah. These guys, they looked so upset. So like they looked defeated. Like if you were in a championship game and you lost the championship game and you have to do an interview after, you know what those guys look like. Like they look upset.
Like, I don't want to answer these goddamn questions.
That's how those guys looked after they walked on the moon. So that's how they looked after they landed on the moon, supposedly. It's like after you walk on the moon, mind you, they're the first men on the moon. You would think they would come back and be happy, like, right? Yeah, like, yo, we landed on the moon. Yo, like the moon is amazing, guys. Right. Like, I'm so happy to be the first man on the moon. Blah blah blah. Let me answer your questions. They were like,
I'm not getting paid enough for this.
They looked upset. They just lost the championship. They just lost the Super Bowl. They just lost the NBA championship, the finals. They lost. Yeah. That's how they looked. Their energy was down. And it's like, so what people are saying, and what I kind of believe too, I kind of believe that the moon landing was fake. I wouldn't say 100% Earth. 100% Earth. I wouldn't say 100% that I believe the Earth is flat. But
yeah, it's just an interesting thing.
It's interesting, and it makes sense. Like the stuff that the flat Earth people are saying, it makes a lot of sense. And some of the stuff is like, oh shit, like I got to think about. Yeah. But you know how much I love space and I love aliens and I love intergalactic traveling. I want there to be space. You feel me?
Yeah, but who's to say that there's no aliens if there isn't a space? Because remember how we were talking about like...
I think the Earth could be flat and there could still be aliens, extraterrestrial. So, but even though I don't believe, even though I may not say the Earth is flat or if it's round, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I do think that the moon landing was fake. Even if the Earth is round, I still think that the moon landing was fake. I don't think we've been to the moon because one, their attitudes are just crazy. Like they were just, it looked like they never been to the moon. Like they look like they've been wanting to go to the moon since they were kids. Uh-huh. And they thought they were going, and NASA was like, "Look, yeah, that's what it was like."
That's a sad life to live.
They were upset that they really didn't get to go, but now they gotta act. Yeah. They came back to the station. NASA was like, "Listen, you motherfuckers, y'all gonna say that y'all went,
and you gonna like it,
and if any of y'all tell the truth,
we're gonna kill you.
We're gonna kill you. Like kill you. That's how they looked. No bull."
But it's like the videos, and like I said, we'll. Put the link in the description. But the videos of them holding stuff when they flip and stuff like that, it's just like no one randomly just goes like what are you doing that for?
You know,
like why? Oh my gosh, what is the reason for all these secrets, man? This world is so weird.
Crazy.
It's so weird. It's so crazy. Like why not? And I get like you can't really control. Like I get like, you know, some people may be like, if aliens came to goddamn Earth, people were like, goddamn aliens, and freak out. But we wouldn't freak out if we were already exposed to it. Mm. And if we wouldn't freak out if we didn't have these movies creating stereotypes of aliens in our brain that they're all bad. Like what's the point for these goddamn secrets on this earth. Why are you gonna create space, a fake space, if there ain't no space?
So
not create a fake. Well, yeah, it is kind of creating.
It would be a fake. Yeah, it would be fake. Space would be fake if the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
Face us.
If the Earth is flat.
If it is flat, space is fake. I know people are like watching this. They're probably gonna be like, the Earth flat? Like, is he an idiot? Like,
right.
we learned that the Earth wasn't flat in 3rd grade.
By
like,
my calculations.
Yeah, guys. Like, I thought it was crazy too. Like when I was in high school and after graduating, if I were to hear somebody say the Earth is flat, I would be like, you're an idiot. Like Galileo had his microscope, his telescope, and he looked in the sky. We knew, mind you, a weak ass telescope. Galileo back in the 1300s, like he had a telescope looking at the sky. Like
I got the answer, guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Mind you, my iPhone could zoom in further than his telescope. Like he was the first one to find out the Earth wasn't flat. But before y'all like bash it and be like, how? Just do the research. You feel me? Just because it makes sense. Like it does make sense what the flat Earth people are saying. Like a lot of it makes sense, and when you really listen to them and go into it with an open mind, it makes sense. Because, for example, people like to say, "Oh, you can't always believe what you hear," or you're gonna believe this person on YouTube because he's been studying flat Earth. So you're gonna believe your teacher, who's never been to space. You're gonna believe these scientists who's never been to space themselves. They're just saying what they think. It's all theories.
Excuse me.
If you've never actually done something, it's a theory.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that will die never knowing until we die, and then we know.
Exactly. Like it was programmed in our mind to think that the Earth was round. Like as soon as we get to school, what do you see? You see the globe on the teacher's desk. Like, you feel me?
Why does all teachers have a goddamn globe on their desk? Like, maybe not when you get older in high school. I didn't see it as much in high school. But when you were younger, you saw whether it was a little globe, or it was a big globe, or it was sitting on the shelves in the back room.
Right.
Like, there was a goddamn globe in the desk. Like,
mainly to teach the geography, like the states and stuff like that.
I mean, goddamn, but how much do you love goddamn Earth to have a goddamn globe in the goddamn room? You can't pull a picture up, put it on the goddamn, what was that thing? When they used to pull it down.
I know what you mean. It's like, and it had the map on it.
No, not that. Oh my God, we're showing our age. when you pull it
for
down.
the projector.
Yeah, for the projector. Yeah. You know, you guys know what we're talking about.
And then they turn on that thing that has the light.
Oh, that used to be the
pops
best,
up.
man. When they used to write, I know we're getting a little off topic, but like math, it was so satisfying to watch their markers just write out the numbers up, and you see it on the.
And they turn off the light in the class so
that
you can see.
You can see it. It's just like a yellowish orange. You just see these numbers being written. You're like, yes, I love math, but you really don't. You just like the projector.
For real.
And to go back to the flat Earth, like I said, this show is all about just picking your brain, different topics, making you think and stuff like that. I mean, we're still in the process of like. I remember when you told me about flat Earth, I used to be like.
Right. Like, that was crazy.
It's not bad to be open to things and to expand your way of thinking. If you stay boxed in, like we were talking about earlier, you'll never. Sometimes things people say on the internet, is a load of garbage, and sometimes the things that people say may have some truth behind it. But like it's good to just think of what if, and it's fun. It's fun
to like. Read about the unknown and get your mind flowing.
Yeah.
So like I said, do your research. Like the stuff they're saying makes sense, and it makes the globe Earth sound dumb. The stuff that they're saying. So it's not like, so some people think, oh, flat Earth. So you're telling me if I walk to the edge, I'll fall off.
Right.
Like, no, it's not like that. It makes a lot more sense when you do research. I'm not gonna get too much in detail. What happened?
Loading? Oh.
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
For example, so NASA. I don't know if it's in Greek or in Latin, but the word NASA means to lie and deceive. So why?
I need the
NASA means to lie or deceive. And some people may ask, like, so why would the government go through all this work to lie about space and to hide flat Earth? So the reason they would do it is because if humans figured out that if we all knew that we were living on a flat plane that's enclosed, people will bug out. There'll be too much questions. They'll be like, so who's running it? Who put us here? Because if we're on something flat and there's something on top of us, it didn't just pop up. It was created.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. There's still a God. There's still a creator.
Right.
It's just the earth isn't round.
That's true. But for example, if you can say that there's space, so all right, people will panic if they knew that we were stuck here. We're inside something. We're in an ecosystem, a huge ecosystem. People will panic because they don't have control of their lives. It's just like anything can happen at any moment. Who put us here? There'll be an uproar.
Yeah.
So now, if you create the globe and you create the space and you say, "Oh, the universe was created by the Big Bang," no one really, you feel me? Something, we were just here and we evolved from monkeys, and you feel me? We evolved from monkeys, and it was the what's it called? Whatever. We evolved from monkeys. You feel me? We came that way. People are more calm, like, oh, it makes sense. Like, we came from nature. Like,
First of all, I would not be calm if I came from a goddamn monkey. I'm sorry.
So
just putting that out there. Just
to say, like, we just came from something random.
Yeah.
The Big Bang is something random. Boom, the universe was created. It's more calming in someone's mind than to say we're living in a goddamn cage. You feel me? Like.
But when you think about it, we are kind of living in a goddamn cage. There's still control. They let us think that we have a certain level of control, but there's not really there's not really control. We're being controlled. Yeah. But I understand what you're getting at, like the perspective of people like, bugging out. So this would be easier for them to think that there's still that what is it? That they still have that freedom. We were talking about it yesterday. It'll come back to me, but they still have that freedom. That there's, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I understand where you're getting at.
Another thing too, like the flight patterns. Like, for example, if you were to fly from one country to another country, the pilots never take the shortest route. That would make sense on the map. They always go like a different route. Yeah. That would take longer. Yeah. I wish I could use one as an example. Like, let's say if you were to go to Cali, from Cali to what's it called? Asia. China or something like that. That's in Asia. On the globe, you would go from Cali over the ocean, because let's say Cali's here on the globe and Asia's like over here. You would just fly from Cali across the ocean to Asia. Yeah. But I don't think they take that route. Like, they always take the longest route. And it's like, why? Like, why?
Maybe they want to give people a view.
Who knows? Maybe. Or maybe they don't want to fly over the land that we're not supposed to see. Like, you feel me? The land that humans don't have access to.
The land that we're not supposed to see. That brings me into, how we were talking about, like, space being, what's it called? If there's no space, there's no aliens. So let's talk about how in the past we talked about that. What if aliens come from Earth? Yeah. They're that part of that land, that area where we're not allowed to.
That we're not allowed to see.
Go see, know about.
So right, and they hide. What's the best way to hide something? In plain sight is the best way to hide something. This is true. What they do is they hide it from us, but they give it to us at the same time. So when someone says extraterrestrial, it's an alien, right? Yeah. Terrestrial, like extra land. Terra is like land, like extraterrestrial, extra land. Terra means land. You feel me? So why are they calling these things extraterrestrials? Why? Because they come from the land that we don't have access to. The extra land that we don't have access to. Terra is land. Extraterrestrial.
Do you see that's why I chose him?
So if the earth is flat...
I never do that.
Aliens are still possible if the earth is flat. Alien just means they don't come from where we come from. That's all alien means. Yeah. So if there is land that we don't have access to, beyond the wall, beyond the Antarctic wall, if there's land over there, maybe that's where the aliens are coming from. Maybe they're coming from that extra land that we don't have access to, and they fly over to our area of the Earth and see what's going on here. You feel me? Mm-hmm. If you're gonna do research on flat Earth, Admiral Byrd. So his name is Admiral Byrd. Mm-hmm. He was in the military. Now this story is on go crazy for you. Admiral Byrd. He was in the military. Mm-hmm. He was an admiral. Back in I think he started his quest. I think you're gonna say quest journey when he was, I think 1940s, 1930s, mm-hmm. and it ended probably in the 60s. So back then, there was still stuff to explore on the Earth. Cause, right. You feel me? We didn't have, there was planes, but it's not as high tech now and things like that.
Yeah.
His mission was to explore Antarctica. So this man went on a journey. He had a big crew on a journey. Admiral Byrd, a white man, he went to Antarctica. He sailed through Antarctica. He even flown through Antarctica. The government funded his project. It's called Project.
Now, why would they do that?
Operation High Jump. That's what it's called. Operation High Jump. Mm-hmm. Why do they do that? Because they want answers themselves. Mm. The leaders of the government, they're not gonna go. They're busy in their offices, sitting pretty in their offices. Yeah. So they need somebody else to do the work for them. Mm-hmm. Admiral Byrd, maybe he was somebody who was interested in doing it. I don't know. I don't know the backstory of how he was the one to be able to do it. Yeah. But they funded the project. It got him everything he needs. He had planes, everything, flying over Antarctica. Kept going. And he has diaries, like he has journals. People back then, like for example, the diary of Anne Frank, how she wrote everything. Mm-hmm. That's what he did. He wrote everything he was experiencing. This man found land beyond Antarctica. He said it's the size of the U.S., of North America. Yeah. The land he found. And it's not just in writing, so people won't be like, oh, anybody could have wrote that. He came back to the U.S. and had an interview and said it on live television that he found land. And you can find that interview on YouTube. It's still on YouTube.
I will also put that in the file.
He's talking to these guys about extra land. Yeah. He said if you go north, no. If you go south of, I think he said south of North America. Yeah. Past South America, and if you keep going, there's more land that's untouched by our humans. It's untouched land, green land, not ice land. Because I know he was traveling over Antarctica, over the Antarctica walls. He said it's green land, beautiful land, about the size of North America.
Did he see anything?
Yes, and so in the journal, he didn't say it on TV because maybe he wasn't supposed to say too much.
He didn't want to die.
Exactly. We're gonna get to that. In the diary that he was wrote, and his son's the one who found the diary. Mm-hmm. After his father died, his son's the one that found the diary and read all the information. He said when he was flying in the plane, he was like, I see something down there. It looks like elephants. No, actually, matter of fact, it looks like mammoths. Mammoths were extinct a long time ago. Ice Age. Yeah. That thing. He's a woolly mammoth. Something. He's a mammoth.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Woolly mammoth.
He's seen the mammoth in 19. I don't know when he went on this expedition. I think it was the 50s or 40s. Mm-hmm. But either way, they're supposed to be extinct. Yeah. But at this land, they weren't extinct. He's seen things.
That makes me think though, like if they were still over there, mm-hmm. so then the government had to purposely do something to extinct them in this area.
No, they were in our area. They were long gone before there was even a government. So the government had nothing to do with the extinction of the mammoths.
That's true.
Yeah, they were long gone.
We're gonna edit that part out.
Yeah. So
but how are they still over there and they were long gone in this area?
Whatever happened here probably didn't reach over there.
What if there's some type of like a barrier?
Who knows?
But he could fly.
Yeah. So there wasn't no barrier because he flew over the land.
Damn, that's so crazy. That's so what the hell?
So, mind you, okay, in the diary he also talks about seeing a race of people. high-tech advanced race of people. Now, I'm not saying this is true or not. I don't know if this is true because
it's all for you guys. It's just stuff to pick your brain, guys.
So the mammoth stuff and the advanced race of people, that's from the diary.
Yeah.
So I don't really credit that because I don't know if the diary's fake or not. Mm-hmm. But the stuff he's saying on interview on TV, that's coming out of the man's mouth. You feel me? Mm-hmm. He says out of his mouth, he's seen land. And in his face, you can always read people's face. Mm-hmm. He looks a little nervous, like he wants to say more, but he can't say more. That's the look on his face the whole time. So, here's where it gets juicy. This man, Admiral Byrd, after he does his runs, his interviews, whatever, I guess he was speaking too much. He was silenced. Mysteriously dead.
Where? In his home?
I don't know where, but he died. And he wasn't even old like that. He died in the middle of when he was supposed to be doing more journeys and expeditions and things like that. Like, how... There's no coincidence that you die after you're given the world the information that you've seen. Mm-hmm. Maybe we weren't supposed to know about the extra land that he said on live television.
Yeah, he was only supposed to report back.
Yeah. Maybe we weren't supposed to know about the mammoths that he wrote in the diary. Maybe we weren't supposed to know about these things. He's even said that he's seen crafts, like UFO crafts, past Antarctica, past the walls. Like, if you keep flying a certain amount of time, these crafts will come to see you, type shit, and guide you. He's seen these things. Maybe we weren't supposed to know that. This man was silenced. I don't know exactly how he died. I wish maybe you could like say something. I'll look it up on how he died, but he was dead. It's like just like the dude who I told you who went underground, who did suicide, but it's clearly he was strangled. It's like, why are these people dying after they're given information to the public?
This world, like I said earlier, man, this world is so weird.
It's crazy.
It's so weird. Like, why are we literally, I feel like we're starting to turn into like a form of jail. You know? And it's just like, damn, like, why do you guys get to know things? I'm always the type of person like, shit, why do you get to do it and I can't do it type of person. So, but why are you able to know X, Y, and Z, but you're keeping it from us? Yeah. And if you're thinking like, oh, we wouldn't know how to handle it, we wouldn't know how to handle it because we were never exposed to it. If you exposed it to us in the beginning, we would know how to handle it. But what's the reason for all these secrets? You think you, a little puny human, can control the things that are like way beyond us, technology and mentally smart wise? Like, what? I think that's so crazy that story alone is crazy. Yeah. But the fact that the government is really just like, nope. We're not gonna have any sorts of this knowledge getting leaked or stuff like that. Oh my god, this is the second time we're talking about stuff related to the government.
Exactly. You're like, yeah, Showtime Podcast.
Oh my gosh, guys! If I end up missing or dead, it was not intentional. I don't care how they make it seem.
Yeah. We didn't do it to ourselves.
And like I said, I'll say it multiple times, this is to pick your brain, okay? So government, leave me alone.
So Admiral Byrd died in his sleep of heart ailments. I don't know exactly what heart ailments is.
Maybe like his heart start beating?
Yeah, like at the age of 68. I don't know.
It could be. I mean, 68, people die younger than that.
That's true. But I feel like in the peak of your expeditions, though, like... You would, and he's in the military. Yeah, wouldn't he be a healthy man? Like,
I mean, but you never know, though. You never know. But what helps us think that it could have been set up is the fact that so many people that came out and said X, Y, and Z have been silenced. That's what it is. That's like, because it could very well be that he did go because of heart failure or whatever. Yeah. But it could be because he was silenced.
So listen. Yeah. His last expedition. Oh, he died in Boston. That's crazy.
Hey, shout out to Boston.
His last journey, his last expedition to the South Pole was in 1956.
God damn.
He died in 1957. If you're doing expeditions, so that means he was doing the expeditions at the age of 67.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he be healthy? Because in the military, you're not even supposed to. Let's say you fly planes. Mm-hmm. You're not even supposed to fly planes unless you have 20/20 vision. Mm-hmm. You have to do checkups, and you have to get physicals before you do anything, any missions, any expeditions, anything like that.
Is that for all planes? Because that makes me feel a little bit better about flying.
Yeah. You as a pilot, you have to have 20/20
Okay,
vision.
good. That makes me feel better. But go ahead.
And if you don't, I think you have to have certain glasses, whatever. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. To me, it sounds fishy that he's supposed to be a healthy man.
Yeah.
Because he was in the military, and his last expedition was a year before he died. And I don't know.
I mean, it's not far-fetched. We know how they get down. But it also, 60, 68, that is getting up there.
Yeah, it is getting up there.
So it honestly can go either way. Like, I'm not saying which one is wrong or right. It honestly could go either way.
For real. But that ties into flat Earth because if we're living on a globe.
I forgot we even started talking about flat Earth.
If we're living on a globe, we should already know all the land. There should be no hidden land, especially the size of North America. Mm-hmm. North America isn't the biggest continent, but it's not a small continent at all.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's land the size of our country and we don't know about it, like
the fact that the goddamn sun. Oh, if we could find that video. You can find that video, right?
The eclipse.
No, not just the eclipse, but the fact that the sun being so close and the moon being so close.
Yeah, the sun looks very close. The moon, especially the moon. The moon looks very close.
I just feel like that should just be so. And like I said, I'm gonna put the clip in there. I want everybody to be able to witness and make their own opinion. But I don't know if you guys noticed lately, but I've noticed, you've noticed that the sun and the moon. More for me, the moon. I feel like the moon is a little more obvious when I physically look at it. But that's just me personally. Is like close.
Yeah, the sun too. The sun. I know you said the sun too, but the moon. You said the moon more.
For me,
yeah. The moon definitely looks mad close.
Yeah, like too damn close. Like you're supposed to be. If you're in space, I feel like you're supposed to be
far
away. Like you're supposed to be looking like this. Why the hell are you this big ass giant? Like
you remember that
take a plane to you type shit.
Exactly, like the plane would just hit the moon type shit.
Hit the moon or even fly. Sometimes it'd be looking like from certain videos that the plane flies higher than the moon. Like what the hell?
Yeah, perception is crazy. Like
it is.
So you remember that example I showed you? I told you like when we be at quarries in Boston, you can see Boston in the distance.
Yeah. And
for those of you who don't know, the quarries are. It's a place in Quincy that has a beautiful view of downtown Boston.
It's spooky.
So I don't know how many miles away. Matter of fact, let me get it right now.
We'll take a little commercial break while he looks that up. If I don't eat this cookie, will you eat it?
No.
Why?
I don't want it. I don't want that cookie.
Want it.
So Quincy is 9.4 miles away from Boston. Quincy is 9.4 miles from Boston. 9.4 miles.
Okay.
And when you're at the quarries is in Quincy, Boston, it looks far.
Yeah.
But it don't look mad far.
Yeah.
It don't look mad far. Like, it's like, oh, it's the next town over type shit. So when you look at the moon, at this stuff, like, it's just common sense. That's why, like, I give the flat earthers credit, because I'm like, this sounds believable. It's believable. When you look at the moon, especially when it's a full moon, it don't matter what type of moon, half moon, full moon, whatever, it looks close.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like it's right there, and I'm not saying the moon is 9 miles away, because even on the flat Earth, it's pretty far, but it's not as far as they say it is in space. But if you're going by space, now the moon looks right there when you look at it.
Yeah, it's not like you can jump up in the sky and touch it. That's not what we're saying.
Or like you can. Yeah, like you said, it's not like you could jump up in the sky and touch it. We're not saying that. Or like you can take your plane and just fly into it type shit.
Yeah.
It looks like that. It looks like that. But we're not saying commercial jets be like, oh, the moon. Like, we're not saying that. But all right, how far is the moon? This is what they say. How far is the moon? Now, the moon is 238,000 miles away from Earth. If you're going by the globe Earth, 238,000 miles. Now, personally, if the moon is that far away, it should look how the stars be looking in the sky.
Yeah.
The stars look tiny, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would think how far the moon would be.
I think the moon, I agree with how far, but I think the moon would just look a little bit bigger. Because I figure the moon is bigger than a star, right?
No. The moon is small. The moon is smaller than a star because the stars are suns.
Oh, okay.
And if you're going by globe Earth and you're going by space, the sun's bigger than the moon. The sun's huge.
Okay.
So, and
which is so funny because the sun and the moon look like the same size.
The same size.
Yeah.
They say that the sun is even further. I think it's like 93 million miles away or something like that. That's how far the sun is. I should look it up, but it's something like that. It's way further than the moon. But the sun looks mad close too.
Yeah.
And I know they say, oh, it's because it's huge. It's huge. But
if that's the case, wouldn't the stars look bigger?
No, because the stars are even further.
Oh.
If you're going by the globe Earth, the stars are further, way further. But here's the thing. You always see the same star constellations. We're supposed to be moving, right? This is what they say. They say Earth is rotating and orbiting the sun.
Yeah.
The moon is rotating and orbiting the Earth. And then it's not like the sun isn't still. The sun is not sitting in one spot and then we're all going around the sun. No.
Yeah.
The sun is supposedly moving through space. It's fast, like fast. The sun is moving through space while the Earth is going around it.
Yeah.
Like, this is us in space right now. We're all moving fast as hell. So if that's the case, why when we look up at the sky, the stars are always in the same place, and the same stars are always in the same place. When you look up, it's always the same star constellation.
Now I gotta pay more attention. Now next time we look, we gotta go back to that spot and look at the stars. But when we do, I'm gonna take a mental note, and then I'm gonna wait like a couple of days, and then I'm gonna look again, and I'm gonna be like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. It just, I don't know, man.
It's something to think about.
A lot of the stuff they say that the flat earthers be saying, it makes sense. Like the sun don't feel far either. Like if I'm using my common sense and go by feeling, forgetting anything that teachers told me, scientists told me, whatever, just going by my feeling and my spirit, it feels like the sun is close. Like it don't feel like it's far. Yeah. Same thing with the moon.
I feel like when you start tuning in this, oh my god, remember when you kept talking about being woke and waking up and oh my god, him and this woke goddamn shit. But when you really get in tune with your spirit, I feel like your spirit starts unraveling things for you. You know, your spirit starts revealing, certain things that are being like covered up. I think that's what woke is. I feel like that's, your spirit, like, hey man, don't be a sucker. This is actually what's going on. And I feel like that might be. You said something about feeling, like you feel that.
You feel
like,
it.
Yeah, I feel like that's what that is. Yeah. That's what it ties into with like a lot of stuff that we talked about, on and off, Showtime Radio. Like your spirit is telling you like, hey, like don't believe everything that they're feeding us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole other world, and I don't mean like there's other things happening around us, because there is, but like the world that we're actually physically in is not the world that we're actually physically in. Which makes me thank you. Which makes me think of the goddamn Matrix.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
That's a shit.
That's a whole. I'm ready to dive. If you're ready to dive,
I'm ready to dive. People.
Go ahead. Both of us, because we just know.
Go ahead.
Just the So the concept of the Matrix is crazy to me. Like the fact that 1 minute you could think that your body's floating in like goo, and you're mentally in this world, but you're not physically in this world, or the fact that it's like a video game program.
Yeah, simulation.
Yeah, simulation. It's just so crazy to me because, and especially too, like, I know the movies make it more dramatic, like that, like we watch, but that ties into manifestation too.
Yeah.
The fact that like when you really tap in, and I feel like that's when the people really like we're talking about, like, become successful, and you know, when they're themselves and this, that, and the other, when they know that, like, this shit don't really mean nothing.
Don't
like,
mean
I
shit.
can, you know, let me manipulate this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's so crazy. It's so weird. Cause it's like, oh shit, when I die, am I gonna be like, wipe all this gunk off me?
The robot comes like, oh, he's awake now.
How was your experience in Earth 2020 something?
No bullshit. Like, a lot of people just stuck in the illusion. Like, they taking this shit
Stuck in the Matrix.
Stuck in the Matrix, the illusion, like, more serious. And it's hard. It's hard because you have emotions, you're human or whatever. So it's hard to really be like, none of this matters.
Yeah.
Like, none of this matters. Because you know your mind is always telling you shit, and it's hard for people to disconnect from their mind.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like I always tell you, you're not your mind.
Yeah.
You're not your thoughts. You're the observer of your thoughts. You know, you're the one watching your thoughts.
Right.
You're not your thoughts. Your thoughts there's a collective consciousness. So when you get those negative thoughts, those are just thoughts stirring up from thoughts that people put in your mind, you know, from your childhood, and your brain is a receiver, you know? It's
oh my God.
Your brain is a receiver. It's like an antenna. It's like a radio.
Yeah.
So you know how we were watching the it's frequencies. You know how we were watching that podcast and they were talking about the music's playing, we just can't pick up the frequency.
Right.
That's why we have to get a radio to tune into that frequency.
Yeah.
So our brains are computers. They're receivers. Our brains are receivers. So we're on a certain frequency, and that's what we're gonna get in our lives and in our mind, whatever frequency we're on. So if you're on a low frequency, you're gonna get those low negative thoughts. But don't worry, you are not your thoughts.
Yeah.
The radio is playing the station, but the radio is not the station.
What if I'm sorry, are you finished?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to cut you off. What if, like, let's say, like, right, this is we're in a simulation, and when they're programming, like in Soul, you know how, oh, you'll have insecurities, you'll have this, you'll have that, when they were, like, creating the souls before they sent them to Earth. What if the fact of the mind and the different things that people struggle with their mind was already, like, you know, installed before they sent us to experience this, and that's the struggle or the obstacle you had to get through? Because physical things, you're able to find a solution. The mind is a fucker to try to, like, control and break. That's the hardest part, I feel like, of your experience on Earth, is the goddamn mind. You know what I mean? Like, physical stuff, you can figure out a way to, like, you know,
right.
To find a better solution. But the mind, that shit, you gotta wrangle, get your ass back over here. Stop thinking that. You know what I mean?
It makes sense.
That's something interesting to think about.
Yeah, you already know how I feel about that. But you remember, I'm the reincarnation boy.
Reincarnation boy.
You already know how I feel. Like, I feel like it makes total sense that we were, you know, our spirit. Because a spirit is, you can't create or destroy energy, you know?
It's everlasting.
My fault. You could create energy, but you can't. Can you create energy? Because energy is always there. It's just in different forms. So one thing we do know is you can't destroy energy.
No, it's everlasting.
It's everlasting. It's like water. You can't destroy water. It's either gonna be ice. All right, I'm gonna destroy the ice, but guess what? You crush the ice, it's gonna melt. It's gonna take a different form. It turns into liquid. All right, I'm gonna heat up the water. All right, that's fine. It's gonna turn into mist. It's still water. Yeah. Even if it turns into mist and you can't see it, it's in the air. You feel me? It's still water. It's still there. So that's how we are. We're like water. We're energy. You can't destroy energy. So our energy was always here, and it will always be here. Yeah. Even before we entered this body, our energy, our soul, spirit has always been here. So that's why I feel like it makes total sense that since our spirit has always been here, I feel like it's possible that we've been on this earth multiple times. Mm-hmm. I feel like our spirit, going to what you said, what if our mind was, you said our mental problems or whatever.
Mm-hmm, like
we knew we were gonna have those, and I feel like that makes total sense. Yeah. Like I feel like when before your spirit came onto this earth, it knew the family you were gonna be in. It knew the mental problems you were gonna have. Mm-hmm. It knew the traumas you were gonna have. It knew everything you were gonna go through, all the success, everything. And it says, "That's a good life. I'll take that role." And it goes down like in Soul. You know how they jump?
Yeah.
And they're like, woo! And they go on Earth. You feel me? It may not be exactly like that. Like they jump through the hole, but some way they come to Earth.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll take this.
I'll be Jenna. Life of depression.
I'll be Jenna. I'll be Levins. You feel me?
Yeah.
And they know it. But the thing is, when they come down here, before they sign up, they're like, you're not going to remember anything, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to know the spirit that you are now. You're just going to believe that you're a human.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the test about Earth, is you come here not remembering your past life. You don't remember the humans you were before. Mm-hmm. You're not going to remember the lives that you lived before. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to remember your spirit self.
Yeah.
You're just going to remember this whole new world.
Imagine when you die and you come back and you're like, shit, I want to go back to being Bob. That's the best life that I ever had.
Yeah. And we could remember everything. We'll just be so confused.
Yeah.
Like Bob. I was Bob. I was Trina. I was Mackenzie. I was...
That's where... No, let me stop. I was about to say something, but that's going to start a whole uproar. Never mind.
You remember that story I showed you of the boy? The boy who was telling his parents...
he's already been here before?
He's been here. He was a black woman. Uh-huh. He was a black woman before he was this boy. Mm-hmm. He told them the name. He told them the people he knew. He told them where he lived and how he died. They looked it up. The name matched. The way this lady that he's describing died matched. The family matched. Everything.
But how does that, if we're going back to the whole reincarnation thing that you were talking about, how does that happen if when you come here you're not supposed to remember
Some people
anything?
are probably just more different than others. Some people are like, for example, some people are more gifted than others. Like how you have that lady who could communicate with the ghosts and stuff.
Oh my god, I love that lady.
Well,
yeah.
What is she?
A medium?
A medium.
Yeah.
Some people are just well connected. There's glitches in the matrix. There's just some things. Not everybody could remember their past life, but you do get those few who could remember glimpses of their past life.
That's that spiritual.
Exactly, something with the spirit. Notice how he only remembers that past life. He doesn't remember before that one. He doesn't remember all of them.
That's true.
But it's just a little glitch. Like he remembers that certain one.
That's because black don't crack, baby. Nah, just kidding.
So yeah, this kid, he's a Caucasian boy now, but in his past life, he was a black woman.
Yeah.
And he's told his parents, he's like, I jumped out the window or I was in a fire or whatever. Sure enough, around when he was born, a woman died in a fire.
It's so crazy.
So crazy.
I'm gonna put that link in there too.
It's crazy.
So crazy. I got so much links. Y'all better watch these. I'm not putting this in here just for my own amusement. Y'all better watch it and comment. I'm gonna read your comments. I look forward to it.
It's crazy,
it's
man.
So crazy.
Yeah, but that shit crazy.
That's crazy.
So going back to like the last episode we brought up like the CERN project, Mandela effects and shit. Mm-hmm. What's one Mandela effect that like got your mind that you're like, shit, was it this or was it that? Or I remember it being like this, but now it's this.
Oh, that's hard. I feel like that's all of them.
Yeah.
But like when you ask me them, like when you randomly ask me them, I'd be like, shit. Which way was it? But that's because my memory's not that good. Okay, so it's like, wasn't there like a Monopoly one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one might be it. In the Bernstein Bears might be that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Shit.
The Monopoly one is a good one. I think that one is more on my mind than the Bernstein Bears, but the Bernstein Bears is a big one.
Yeah, those two might be the main
ones.
Because it's just like, well, that's so crazy to think about. Like shit, like one day we're gonna wake up and something on our dresser is just gonna glitch. Like,
did you see that?
Right, I mean, like go back to bed.
Oh my god.
It's so weird, but it's so cool. Like I like thinking. Oh, sorry, I got too excited. I got too much saliva. I like thinking about that because it's just like, oh, like, because everything is so hidden, like we were talking about. So it's like, if this shit is really real, like there's like glitches and shit, like with the particles and stuff, like with the deer, we had to put that link in the video too, with the deer glitching with the two-headed deer, by a tree, and then next thing you know, it's just went like the video doesn't glitch or anything like that, but the fact that it went from a deer with two heads to just a deer with one head, like I said, I'll put the link in. It's just so weird, and it's around the same time we were watching the podcast. I put the podcast in the link too, of who showed us the video.
The start of the CERN project.
Yeah.
The lady saw the deer, I think, a couple days after they started the project.
Yeah, so weird, but it's so cool because it's like, wow.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's just because the world, because it's so like in such a format, it's so boring. Like to think of all this other stuff is so interesting, or the fact that like because we've been lied to for so long to know about other stuff, like the fact that the Matrix is unraveling is just so interesting because it's like, goddamn, when it unravels, what is goddamn gonna happen? I feel like a curtain's just gonna drop. We see all this shit.
That's what's happening. The curtain is dropping.
Oh my god.
The goddamn studio lights are falling. Everything is revealing itself. It's like the goddamn Truman Show.
Truman Show.
When he thought his life was real, but it's been staged the whole time. We watched it in the hospital.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. Shit.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. That's the thing. Did we talk about movies last time?
Well, I think we probably brought up a movie.
I think we did. Like movies being like they're like watering down. I think we did watering down
our minds. They're watering it. Yeah. Desensitizing us.
Yeah, what is actually happening? That's a perfect example. Like that's how we're living.
It's crazy. So 9/11, for example, going to example of what you're talking about, desensitizing us.
Yes.
Before 9/11 happened, there's mad. I'll show you the video after, and you could probably put a couple clips in. There's mad cartoons. There's mad cartoons, magazines, comics, commercials, all showing the Twin Towers or the Twin Towers being destroyed or a plane flying into the Twin Towers before 9/11, like 4 years before, 2 years before, a year before, 10 years before. But they're always showing up in shows, commercials, comics, movies. One movie will have like a monster come and like rip the Twin Towers off. Another
just subtle things.
Yeah, like, subtle things, like to put it in your subliminal mind, your subconscious mind, just in the background type things, like you don't notice it.
Right.
Next, you know, Twin Towers go down, but that's a prime example of them desensitizing it. Like, if Twin Towers was set up, maybe they knew all of along that at some point they wanted to do it. So,
are you drinking?
Yeah. Look.
You finished all three of them?
This is the last one's in here and it's almost done.
What the fuck? Sure, goddamn more. Shit.
Goddamn, I wish we could just sit here and make like a 2-hour long episode.
No one's gonna sit here for goddamn 2 hours, babe. That's why I want to like stop so we have can make more episodes and stuff like that.
What if we just one day we just talk for 2 hours and you just cut it up into separate episodes?
That's true, but I need to get all this stuff off my card. Like I need to edit it for. Well, come on, talk more. I'm wasting time on this goddamn thing. Oh man, I don't even know where to pick up from. What was the last thing we were talking about?
Last thing I told you was about the Hennessy commercial.
Oh yeah, that's some shit. I didn't even know about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I found it too. I'll show you when we're done.
And I know some people are like, it's just a commercial. You guys are reading too much. There's always those people, but it's like, yo, man, that's what they want you to think. That's what they want. You guys are what's keeping them. It stopped. Did you stop this?
No.
Stopped. Oh, it's full.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of good conversations.
We did have a lot of good conversation. I hope this was, entertaining. Not only entertaining, but I hope this expanded your mind of thinking. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. This is all just interesting topics to talk about. It's fun.
It's fun.
Pick your brain. Step out of the box.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, if someone comes to you and says, "Oh, flat Earth," like, don't bash them. Just listen to what they have to say. Like, get excited about it. Like, to hear a different perspective. Like, that's what I'm very open minded. Like, you know how big I am into space. And I told you I wanted to be an astronaut. Like, I wanted to work for NASA when I was in middle school. Right. Elementary school to middle school. I wanted to be in NASA. I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be an astronaut. So the fact that I'm considering flat Earth, like, I'm open to it, I'm like, they make sense. It has to be some real shit that they're saying. Like, right, yeah. Because I'm a big space dude. Like, I got the NASA... a big space dude. I got the NASA sweater and everything. Like, I want the Earth to be round, and I want there to be space. But a lot of the stuff they said makes sense. I'm just open-minded. I'm willing to hear other people. You're willing to challenge your way of thinking. Exactly. Yeah. If you... And this is just a key tool, not just for what we're talking about, but for overall in life and the way of thinking. If you just stick to what you know, then what do you really know? You only know this much out of this amount of information that you could possibly know. Like I said earlier, life is meant to grow continuously. You know, you're supposed to keep growing and evolving and, expanding your horizon or whatever the case may be. But, challenge yourself. And respect other people's opinions too. Like, there's things that he believes and I believe that are different, but we still, even if I joke myself about it, we still respect and each other's opinion at the end of the day, because everybody's entitled, to their own opinion. So, I challenge you to just have an open conversation with somebody about these topics that we brought up. Yeah. I challenge you to voice your opinion in the comments. I'm not taking any offense to it. Tell me what your perspective on the conversation we had, whether you agree or disagree. It's just, it's exercising your mind. It's forcing yourself to think outside the box, and who knows, it might even help you grow, especially with the whole being successful thing. Get your asses up and take action. Yeah, take action, man. Get your asses up and take action. If anything else, this is your sign. Get your asses up and take action on whatever it is today, because you can be exactly what you want to be as long as you believe in it. Right, exactly. Ooh. We have a girl coming with the quotes. Quote that and then put the dash and put Jenna. Showtime. Jenna. Showtime Jenna. Showtime. AKA I'm coming Jenna. For my credit. Yeah. No, sorry. Right. But without further ado, hold on, let me take a sip. I love wine. Merlot, guys. Merlot might be my favorite kind of wine. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you if you stayed through this whole video. I love you. I appreciate you. If you didn't, fuck you. Just kidding. Love you too. But no, seriously, on a serious note, thanks for tuning in. Of course, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Like I said, there'll be fun videos like we talked about. There'll be informative videos like earlier in the conversation that we had. It's really just to escape your reality and hopefully learn something new. And so thanks, guys. Anything you want to say? Dope episode. Another dope episode, yes. Open your mind. Don't be afraid to learn anything new. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to be the dumbest person in the room. I know that sounds crazy, but I heard that saying. It's a whole conversation in its own. Yeah, you want to be the dumbest person in the room, because that means you're around people who are smarter than you, and that means you have room to grow. You don't want to be the richest person in the room. You want to be the poorest person in the room. Yeah. Because that means you're hanging around people who are doing better than you. I hear it. So ties exactly back into where we started, to be honest. Exactly. It's a great way to finish, guys. I picked up off of you because you were saying, don't act like you know everything. Open your mind, and that ties into that. Like, don't think you have all the answers. You want to learn. I taught him something. You want to learn. Learning is good, okay? Learning is good, guys. All right, guys.
I held you here long enough, not against your will, because you tuned in, you tapped on my video. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.